First fruit is therefore the spiritual instrument that acknowledges and enforces that I have been brought to a new land, a wealthy place that is flowing with milk and honey. By what? By the strength of the hand of God. Amen. So it's an instrument by which you do what? You honor God with. Did you get that?
Yes.
Did you get that? It's an instrument by which you honor God with, that God has brought you to this level, financially speaking, that will make you to be able to honor Him with this financial what? Seed. Did you get that? So when you get to that point, when you now say you have never worked before, you now receive your first salary. Your first salary, you pay your tithe, you pay your offering. Then you must pay something out of the remaining that is called what? Your first fruit. What are you saying? You are saying, God, I acknowledge that by the strength of your hand, I was able to get employed in this particular establishment. So I'm honoring you with this. I'm doing what? I'm honoring you with it. So first fruit is what? It's a spiritual instrument of honor that must be sown into the kingdom. That what? That by the strength of God, I've got you what? I've gotten this job. If it's a contract, it's a contract with government, ministry, whatever, you now have your profit. No giving people bribe. You now pay your tithe, pay your offering on your what? On your profit. Then you now come up with a first fruit and say, God, by the strength of your hand, have you given me this what? This contract with the government. You understand? So I'm honoring you with this. If not for you, I will not have gotten it. Instead of people to give us fruit, they are giving bread. Did you get it? Instead of people to do what? To give what? They are doing what? They are giving bread. That is why I don't believe I should be returned and do that. Because it's not hearing this. Amen. So, what first fruit is? You are celebrating God. You are acknowledging that by the strength of the hand of God, this particular level of what? Of exposure to this material blessing has come to you by the operation of the what? Of the strength of the hand of God. Amen. So you are honoring God with what? This particular amount. Amen. But it doesn't stop there. Remember when there was a great cry because God visited them with what? With judgment. So what is first fruit? Again, first fruit is to forestall us from grief of great magnitude. Is to what? Is to hinder us from experiencing grief, money of what? Of great cry. I can't bury my children.
Yes.
And I will not bury my children.
And I will not bury my children.
And none of you will bury your children. Why? Because I'm paying my first fruit. Amen. My wife will not die of sickness. She will only die in a good old age. Why? Because I'm paying my first fruit. Amen. See, you just don't pray some things. You have to what? You have to do some things. It's called input. Amen. My mother-in-law will not die before her time because I pay my first fruit. I know she's my wife. So there is no room for grief in my family. There is no room for money. I'm using this instrument of what? First fruit as a spiritual instrument in servicing the kingdom to make sure that this is absolutely compelled to be my portion. Are you getting what I'm saying? And somebody can open his mouth and say, no, first fruit is not tight. At all. It's not tight at all.
And it's not offering.
And it's not offering at all. It's a totally different spiritual instrument. It's not tight. And it's not offering at all. Amen. So you put the tithe, you put the first fruit in an envelope and you name it first fruit. Let's go and see what it is. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 9 and 10. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 9 and 10. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. It says, honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruit of all of thy increase. Is what? It's a spiritual instrument of honor. Did you get that? You are honoring the Lord with this. It's a spiritual instrument of honor. When it comes to tithes and offering, it's what? It's an instrument that demonstrates what? That you fear God. This one is an instrument that you what? That God, you are so mindful of God, you are honoring Him. So that's totally different thing. That's why God is raising teachers to teach. Amen. So under no circumstance must you ever mistake tithe for first fruit or first fruit for tithe. They are not the same at all. They don't even look the same. And God said in the book of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 9, he said, honor me. Honor this Lord with what? With thy substance. And with what? And with the first fruits of what? Of all the increase. It's a law. It's a commandment. It's not an option. God did not say you should do it every January. That's not what He said. It's not in this Bible. It's not in this Bible. It's not in the Bible. God never said do it every January. That's not what He said. It's not in the Bible. It's a what? It's a constant thing you do. As long as what? You are increasing. Amen. Why? Because He said, with the first fruit of all thy increase. Don't you want to be increasing? Amen. That is why we also need to show our first fruit every month. How many? Every month. Every month. Every month. Every month. Now, the blessings. See the blessing. In addition to what you have said in Exodus chapter 11, 12, and 13. See what it says again. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty. Did you get that? So there is a what? There is blessing attached to doing it. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses burst out with new wine. Fresh revelation. Fresh revelation that will make you to be fresh and refreshed. Amen. The fresh manifestation of the operation of the workings of the Holy Ghost inside of you. As you connect this, as you honor God, God said, me, I serve, I will honor you. No, man. Say, you want me, I will point me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's an instrument which you honor God with. And then what happens? You put this one in an envelope and you say, and then you do this. Ezekiel. Chapter 44. Ezekiel 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 chapter 44 and verse 30. And the first of all, the first fruit of all things. And the first of all, the first fruit of all things. And every oblation of all, of every sort of your oblation, shall be the priests. Shall be who? Shall be who? Priest. Shall be the priest. The priest owns it. Amen. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough. Did you get that? The first thing you prepare, you shall bring to the priest. That it may cause the blessing to rest in your house. That you may put the blessing upon you. Are we doing it here? That is why I'm going here from here to water to go and sow it. Because I want the blessing of that is operating at a higher level of grace to come upon me and this ministry. Amen. That whatsoever the priest will say, I will honor it. Amen. Whatsoever what the priest will say, I do what? I will honor it. So we have the instrument. You have the instrument of first fruit. Amen. That's number one. That's number 3. Let's look at number 4. This is what I call kingdom advancement servicing. Let's turn our Bible to the book of Numbers, chapter 7, verses 1 to 9. You have looked at tithe, you have looked at offering, you have looked at first fruits.
let's look at kingdom advancement servicing. Numbers chapter 7, verses 1 to 9. 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 Amen. See what the word of God said. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle, and had anointed it and sanctified it, and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed them and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Lord 6 covered wagons, and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, take it of them, that they may be able to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service. And when Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them unto the Levites, 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon according to their service, and 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari according unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. But unto the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulders. Amen. Amen. This was the Old Testament time, and the tabernacle had been built. Amen. The tent of the tabernacle, and it has to be moved. And God has consecrated a man called Aaron as the first what? High priest. And from the lineage of Aaron downward, there were 3 lineages of Aaron. One, Aaron had a son whose name was Gershon, another one whose name was a man called Kohath, another one whose name was Merari. Amen. And every of those lineages were to operate around the tent of the tabernacle. Amen. And somebody is meant to carry the Ark of the Covenant, one is meant to carry this, carry that. And so, when all of these things have been put together, some men saw that there was a need, and there were princes. And they collectively came together. Every of the prince, every of the leader of each tribe, they came together and they said, what can we do? They all thought, okay, we can provide a wagon that is going to be driven, one wagon that is going to be driven by 2 oxen. You know? Let us say, let's put it in a technological term. A wagon that is 2 horsepower. Amen. Did you get that? A wagon that is what? 2 oxen powered. Amen. So they now provided 6 wagons. And then that simply means they were going to have 12 oxen. Amen. So each prince provided 1 oxen, and 2 princes provided 1 wagon. So the 2 princes were able to come up with what? The 12 princes were able to come up with what? 6 wagons that had 12 oxen. And they came and presented it to the Lord before Moses. And God said, take it from them. Why? Because these were men that saw the need, and they were able to what? To meet the need. It wasn't God that requested it. They saw it themselves. Amen. So you have to open your eyes and ask God, Lord, open my eyes. What are the things I can sow to the kingdom? Amen. So I call this one Kingdom Advancement Servicing. What are the things I can do to advance the advancement of the kingdom? Amen. What are the things that I can do? Amen. Some people are buying cars for their what? For their pastors. Amen. I'm told one man of God, he got his car loan. And he said to him, how can I have a car loan? And I will be given a car, and my pastor is not using a car. And he sold that car into the life of his pastor as a young man. Amen. And you think God will not bless him?